Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us today for our Want to See It Your Way webinar. My name is Brad Zaitzoff, and I'm the Director of Marketing here at Tailwind, and I'll be the moderator for today's webinar. And I'm sure many of you already know our main presenter today, the Training and Implementation Specialist and all-around industry guru here at Tailwind, Linda Clare. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Brad, and hi, everyone.
Now, just for a little bit of initial housekeeping, this webinar is being recorded and will be sent out to all registrants in the next day or so. And while webinar attendees are on mute, if you have a question, please send us to them or send us them using the question box just on the little sidebar that you should see on your screen, and we'll respond to them at the end of our presentation. Now, for those new to Tailwind, we're a transportation software company that's been around for some time now. Our focus really is on continuous improvement. And since launching our true web-based TMS offering in late 2016, we've made over 200 enhancements and updates, which means that the Tailwind TMS that you're using is, well, to keep with the Beatles theme, getting better all the time.
No.
Yeah, no, okay. I promise no more singing during the presentation. Our goal with this webinar, beyond me, being able to show my singing voice, is to help you get the most out of your Tailwind application. So specifically to show you some of the many ways you can customize Tailwind to show you the information you want to see, when and where you want to see it. Now, since most of you have been using the application for a little while, some of these tips and tricks may already be familiar to you, but with an application like Tailwind, there's always more to learn. Wouldn't you say so, Linda?
That's quite right, Brad. It's kind of like that saying where we only use 10% of our brains. Some days I think I'm only using 5%, but it's the same with Tailwind. I work in it every day, training and working with customers like yourselves. And as much as I am amazed by the variety of ways people use the application, there is almost always more they can be doing. So our goal with this webinar is to try to help you find that extra 10 or 20% of tailwind that could be making your business run that much more smoothly. Today, I'm going to cover off, or I'm going to share with you, 6 tips to help you use your Tailwind way to customize it for your business and bring the information you need front and center in the application. Now, I can see from the attendee list that some of you may have heard a few of these before, and probably from me. But like Brad said, with an application like Tailwind, there's always more to learn. And with that said, let's get started. Tailwind is a web-based application, and that means you can access it from any device connected to the internet. That could be a desktop computer, a tablet, or the browser on your phone. This can be handy if you were moving between offices or in the hopefully unlikely event that you want to check something while you're out for lunch. It also means that you don't have to come into the office when a truck breaks down in the middle of the night and you get that phone call. I'm sure that many of you have been there. Having a web-based application means that you can access it at work, at home, and importantly, when you're traveling. Now, we wouldn't actually suggest that you access it when you're on vacation, but having worked in the industry, I do know how it can get. Being a web-based application, we're showing my screen now, everyone. Being a web-based application also means that you get to take advantage of the multi-tab browsing capabilities of your browser and open Tailwind in multiple tabs, allowing you to have multiple views of the application open at once. Here you can see my application and all the various tabs that I have open. This can be particularly useful in the middle of one workflow, say, creating an order for a customer. You might have an order displayed in front of you, and you need to look at some related information. Instead of abandoning that workflow, you can come back to another list you have open in the application and simply look at the data you're looking for. So you can switch back into your progress order once you find the info you're looking for. Depending on your monitor setup, you can also use these tabs as separate windows and pull them out to other other monitors on your desktop. This can be great for a dispatcher who always wants to have their dispatch list open on one monitor while also working on individual dispatch on their other monitor. Or maybe an AR clerk that happens to go and do a receivable search in the receivables area of the software. Maybe she's loaded up all invoices that are not posted yet or processed for a customer. Easily opening another record in another tab allows her to leave the search she's got activated and simply navigate back and forth between the search that's activated and the actual record that she needs to look at. And of course, if you have that more than 2 monitors, the possibilities just expand from there. Now, before we move on to our next tip, I think Brad has some questions for all of you. Brad?
Thanks, Linda. Yeah, now we'd like to get a feel of how people are currently accessing Tailwind. So want to find out if you're doing this from your desktop, your laptop, a tablet, a phone, or maybe you're getting metaphysical and connecting to the application through your psychic. So if we can get people to provide their answers in the little poll that we got going on here, and you can actually select one or more of them as well. All right, we give people a few more seconds here to get their results tabulated here. All right, that's actually not all that surprising. Actually, so far what's coming in, that's good to see.
No one getting metaphysical?
No one, which is probably wise because we haven't really optimized Tailwind for that way. So I'll close the poll now and share the results with you there. So most people are accessing on a desktop and then laptop and then tablet and phone, which kind of decreases from there, which definitely makes a lot of sense. It's probably easiest on the larger screens, but for those emergency purposes, obviously it does work well on tablets there. So, all right, thank you very much for that, folks. And I have actually one more question for you. Want to be finding out where you're accessing Tailwind from, whether or not it is from the office, from your home, while you're on the road, or maybe while you're otherwise indisposed.
Brad.
It's if you're accessing on your tablet or your phone, that's something that I can.
No.
All right, well, we'll give people a couple more seconds here. Looks like most people have put their answers in. So we'll close the poll there and we'll share the results. So the office being the biggest one, which is great. That's ultimately where you want to be accessing it. From home, for those emergency purposes, good. On the road, definitely. And nobody on the phone, so that's good. So we do have a very clean group that is answering today. All right, I'll hide these and we'll throw things back to Linda as we start to dig into some of the more application-specific stuff.
Thanks, Brad. All right, now that we've covered off some general tips on taking advantage of Tailwind as a web-based application, we're going to dive into the application itself and look at some of the ways you can customize your views, your data, to get the most out of the application. Before we get into specifics, I'm just going to give you a super brief overview for those attendees who might be new to Tailwind. We break our software into 3 divisions: operations, administration, and tools, with each one coming with its own set of subheadings. Each of these contains a number of modules, and each of those deals with a specific set of records. So, for example, your customers will hold all customer-related information. Your orders will hold all the information related to your orders, etc. Obviously, there's a bit more to it, but as we go through our examples, it should become clear enough. Now let's talk a minute about the ability to customize what columns appear on the list views in Tailwind. In almost all of our views, you have the ability to add or remove columns, as well as the order and size of the columns that are displayed. At the bottom of every list view, we give you an active columns button. Now, while we've done our very best to choose defaults that make sense for most businesses, we all know that in the transportation industry, every company, every person does things a little bit differently. And that's why we encourage and allow our customization. Adjusting these columns can help you bring your lists in line with your business and make for smoother workflows. For example, here's my order list. And by accessing that active columns button located here at the bottom of every list view, I can see all the data that is available for displaying on the screen. Switching toggles on or off depending on what you want to see sets the columns there for viewing. Once I have my columns or my information chosen, I can also rearrange columns. Maybe I want to see my pickup dates here next to my pickup city. I simply drag and drop it into the position that I want to see the information displayed. I can also resize columns. There we go, just finding the toggle there, everyone. So I can resize columns, allowing me to see the data I want and in the exact order I want to see it. Once things are set up as I want, I make sure to hit that Save List button to ensure that the system remembers my setup. Note that this is a personal setting only. It will only affect the login credentials of this person that's logged in. This way, different people in the company can have their views set up differently to better fit their role and preferences. A dispatcher probably wants to see different information than someone doing admin, for example. So, we just finished talking about adjustable columns, and those columns are displaying data which you have entered as part of your master records or part of your everyday operations. So far, so good. But as helpful as it is to be able to configure what data gets displayed on your screen, what do you do if there's nowhere to enter the data you want to display? Well, that's where custom fields come in. Tailwind gives you the ability to add up to 4 custom fields to each of your record types to help you capture the data you want to track for your business or is specific to your business and business workflows. To access your custom fields area, you will come to the gear icon in the top right-hand section of the software. Clicking on that gear icon, of course, is going to show you a menu. Going into the configuration area and allowing the software to load the configuration menu across the screen for you. Coming to lookup tables. This is where you can add custom fields in. Accessing custom fields is the ability for you to add up to 4 custom fields for any record that you use in the software. There are as many ways to use custom fields as there are transportation companies out there, but let me give you a few examples. I was recently working with a lumber hauler, and they do everything. They track everything by the number of board feet that happens to be on a shipment. Well, our shipment records allow you to track commodity and the equipment needed, where it picks up, where it delivers, the weight. It doesn't have anywhere that you can put in the number of board feet. So we created a custom field called board feet, which now will give her or that company a new field on their shipment records where they can now track the board feet. Once that was set up, we even had the ability to tie the revenue directly through to that custom field. Or let's look at another example of that. Reefer companies, they need to know the temperature that's required when they're moving loads. They always want to know what temp the reefer needs to be kept at. Create a custom field for that. Or intermodal companies that pick up containers and chassis from docks, they need to know when the free time expires on those containers or chassis. Custom fields are very, very useful for you. Like I said, there are so many, many possibilities, and it's all about what fits your company. So take a moment, think about what information is missing from your Tailwind and whether that data can be captured with a custom field. Also, in case you're wondering, those custom fields will appear. Oh, let me find my order list here. There we go, everyone. Those custom fields will appear as columns. So you can have that. There's my temperature required. You can have those columns displayed and see the data that you've entered in those columns. Before we move on to our last couple of points, I'm going to pass it back to Brad. Brad, are you still there?
I am indeed, and we do have another poll that we want to be asking our folks here. So let me just get the actual poll up here. So we've covered a few tips and tools now and want to find out which of them our audience is already using. So are you accessing Tailwind from multiple locations? Are you using multiple tabs or windows to see different Tailwind screens at the same time? Have you adjusted columns to get the views that you need? Or are you using fields customized for your business? All right, we have just over half people voted here, so we'll give people a couple of more seconds here.
I'm a multiple tabbed girl. I love that ability.
That is pretty handy with that application for sure. All right, looks like most people have got their feedback in, so I'm just going to close the poll and show the results there. So yeah, we got a good mix, but yes, the multiple tabs and adjusting columns that are the most popular there. So it's good to see that a lot of you are already using a lot of these different, all these tips that Linda is presenting. Thank you for that. I'll just hide those results. And now, none of the tips that we're covering may seem like a huge deal individually, but just like your accountant will tell you, small improvements can add up quickly. And to note, while this does not necessarily look like our accountant, in my mind, this is what most accountants do look like as they're sitting behind their desks. But I digress. Think about how much time you can save and how much more productive you can be if you were to shave just a few seconds off every order, every payment, every invoice, every dispatch that you make in a day. See, what I like about this webinar is that I believe that success doesn't come as much from big leaps as it does from ongoing and small incremental changes to performance. So changing the orders of your columns, remembering to open information in new tabs, these aren't necessarily big changes, but they add up. And if you multiply that by the number of people in your company who are using Tailwind over the number of months or years that they're going to use it, it ends up saving a whole lot of time. So it's worth that initial investment in learning and in customizing and arranging things the right way, because that time that you save gets you that much closer to your goal of everyone getting to leave the office on time with a clear mind and their work done for the day. Anyway, back to Linda and our last couple of tips here. I'll pass things back to you.
Thanks, Brad. There we go. We're displaying my screen again. And we've gone over some ways to customize and improve your basic default views of the data in the application. But sometimes there's a specific task that requires you to slice and dice the data in a different way. That's why we provide advanced search tools on most of our lists, which you can use to filter and select the data you need for specific tasks at hand. But these advanced searches are not just one-off tasks. You can save any search you build. Hang on one sec. Let's do this example. Sorry about that, everyone. Let me head to a quick example here. So I'm going to build an advanced search. I'm coming to my order list. No, let's go to unposted. Let's look up receivables. Let's do an admin workflow instead of an operations workflow. I've come to my receivables. I'm going to open up my advanced search. I'm going to ask for all invoices. I simply add the parameter in, and now I'm looking for any that are not posted. I want to know, so I choose equals and no. I want to know what invoices I have yet to post or work for my customers. I can filter it out by a customer as well, but when I hit search, the software will return the data to the screen. So now I can see every invoice that's in my database that is not yet posted. While these advanced searches are not just for one-off tasks, you can save any search you build, allowing you to quickly, if I want to save this, I simply hit the Save Current Search and name it. Posted. No, maybe is what, oh, sorry, didn't mean to show that. Maybe is what I want to name it. So I can now save that search so it's always available in my pull down here so I can run those searches again. Setting up and using a series of advanced searches can help you quickly switch between different data sets, essentially acting like a specialized version of your regular list view. Now, let's look at how we reload those searches. I'm going to navigate now back to my order screen here on my operations side of the software because I have some searches saved here. Again, letting my list load up, clicking my advanced search button. Here in my save searches, any search I have saved will be available for me. So if I'm looking at my profit by customer for my building supply company, I simply access that search again, tell the software to go ahead and search it, and that data will appear on the screen for me. While that's useful to simply see the data, I can also export my data, sending it out to an Excel spreadsheet as a way of building custom reports that are specific to your business. So with exporting these search results, this will download the data in a format you can easily import into Excel or another program, allowing you to work with the data in whatever way you want. And of course, just like other saved searches, you can load this search whenever you need to run the report again. Just remember to adjust the date range and make sure you're getting the data you want. Now, one of the more unique features of Tailwind is the branches feature of our application. Just like a tree, your company can branch out and open up new departments, offices, or even acquire new businesses. And having done that, you might want to amalgamate the data in one spot, but be able to record and report on the information for each company or department separately. For many of you, it may be that you are wanting to run both a trucking company and a brokerage department at the same time. Or perhaps you're a freight brokerage company with multiple offices in different jurisdictions. Using the branch will enable you to show all that information branch related. Let's go in and have a look at this. Using branches in Tailwind can help you keep everything in one place, while still allowing you to differentiate between those different parts of your business. I've accessed my configuration area again, everyone, and here under company information, general information, of course, is a list of my branches. I've got a transportation branch, a brokerage branch. All of that information can be stored. Every record in the database, every single record, has the ability to be associated to a specific branch. So as you can see, branches can help. Oh, wait, sorry, one sec. I may have missed a spot, everyone. No, it's okay. So as you can see, branches can help organize different segments of your business while still keeping them all under a single umbrella. And Tailwind is one of the few applications in the software industry, logistics industry, with this kind of built-in setup. Also understand, any report generated from the software using a specific branch will also allow you to brand those specific reports with your own logo, the individual address or name of the branch. Let me go and quickly get you an order that I can print here and show you what I'm talking about here. I'm just throwing an invoice on the screen for you. So any logo you have loaded into your branch information, the details of your company will load on those individual reports and are branch specific. And there we are at the end of our presentation, or at the end of our list anyway. Thanks so much for all of you for attending. Whoops, one sec, everyone. Sorry, I just got a little screen here. But before I pass things back to Brad, I want to thank you for joining me today. Many of you I have met before, and it excites me to see that you are still using and benefiting from the Tailwind application. As our president often reminds us, at Tailwind, we like to do things with our customers instead of to our customers. It means that our success is inherently tied to your success. Also, if any of you feel that others might be interested in our application, we always appreciate a referral coming from one of our customers rather than us talking about ourselves. If you have someone or some company that might be interested, don't hesitate to give us a call or introduce us over email. I'll now pass it back to Brad, who's going to field some questions from you all.
Thanks, Linda. Like Linda said, I'd like to open the floor now for questions, starting with a few that have come in throughout the presentation here. So someone is asking if you can show how to set custom fields once again there. So maybe I'll change the presentation back to you again, Linda, and you can show that.
You bet. No worries at all. So it's through accessing that gear icon, going into your configuration area of the software. Oops, sorry, one sec.
Yeah, sorry, that'll give you the presentation there.
I needed to wait a moment until my screen got shared. Sorry about that. All right, so accessing that gear icon in the top right-hand corner, using your configuration menu, letting the configuration menu load across the top of the screen, and it is here under lookup tables that you can access your custom fields. Any custom field you apply on any record in the database will then show on that individual record. I hope that helped. Back to you, Brad. Another question for me?
Yeah, somebody's asking on trip manifest, can I put broker info in as a separate field?
Absolutely, you can. Now, you will have to talk to the support team to have them add that custom field to your trip manifest, and know that when we introduce a CE and ACI integration, it will automatically appear for you. But in the meantime, a workaround is you create a custom field to show your broker and ask the support team to create a custom trip manifest for yourself, giving you the ability to show that broker. Or another really easy workaround. Let's have a quick look at that, everyone. A really easy workaround for that is to put that information in the notes on a specific order. Any notes, let me go into any old order here, everyone. Give me a quick moment so I make sure I cover this off correctly for you. Great, we're going to have a quick look at this and know that in the shipment area, where you detail what you're picking up, where you're picking it up, where it delivers to, is the ability for you to put notes in. So your shipper notes, these notes that are located right here, will flow through the application and will print on trip manifest. So I think perhaps an even easier solution for you, don't worry about the custom field in that situation. Put your custom broker in the shipper notes or the delivery notes, and that will allow the software to print them on those trip manifests.
Oh. All right, someone else is asking, they want to know if you can set up different terminals. And if so, if you can show that. Not too sure if that means.
Well, absolutely. There's a couple of ways that need to be a little bit more specific on what you're looking for. You can either, in the configuration area, if you want to track them separately, revenue and expenses separately for those terminals, that's going to be through branch records. However, if you're just having the terminals represented as locations that you might do cross-dock work at, or you might drop freight at for storage, then that's going to be through the creation of a location record. Locations will represent your terminals as well. So if you want to send me an email, Brad's going to make sure you all have my email address. If you want to send me a quick email with a bit more specific information, I'd be happy to find a specific workflow for you.
Yeah, if there's additional kind of questions that do come up, you can always send it to info@tailwindtms.com, and we can make sure that it gets farmed out to the proper person that's going to be able to answer it, or directly to Linda, ask Linda, ASKLYNDA at tailwindtms.com. There's my spelling for the morning. So we still got more questions here. So does Tailwind offer custom training sessions to really get into our workflows?
Oh, absolutely. While I give you 2 live classes every week that you get to attend, we give you a complete access to a customer success and support center with every article ever needed to learn how to use our software. We also offer implementation packages. I've simply come to our website here, everyone. Here under products, you can access our implementation packages. Any of these implementation packages will get you special one-on-one time with me, where I can help delve into your operations, learn how you do things, find specific workflows for you, and you can also purchase just custom training hours as well. Lots of different ability there.
And how about reports? Can you show me how to access and create them?
Sure, absolutely. Let's come back to our software here. Well, we certainly have canned reports in the software, accessing under tools, reports. We've got lots of reports that are available for you. We have admin reports, sales reports, operational reports, and equipment reports. While these are canned reports, can be filtered out by branches. Building your own reports is that advanced search function. So if I need to just do a quick search on orders I've moved for a specific company, I'll simply use that advanced search. Any parameters I add in using this list of parameters and putting the value in, adding it in will allow me to search the database, returning the data to my screen, and again, I still have the ability to export that data out if needed.
Here we have a real specific question here. Where can we put in our PO number? We need to give that to our consignee for the billing as it's our reference number. That.
Let me think. Is this in a case of, is it possible for that person to please let me know, is this in a case of brokering freight? Are you brokering a load and you want the load carrier, the carrier partner to see your load confirmation number? I'm going to go under that assumption. Okay, I'm going to go under that assumption. Let me find a dispatch on a carrier partner. So when you dispatch any loads using our software, if you're asset-based trucking, you dispatch to company equipment. If you're a freight brokerage company, of course, you dispatch to carrier partners. If in fact it is the ability to issue your trip number as your PO to the carrier, that will automatically print on the load confirmation for you. So I'm going to throw the load confirmation on the screen here for us, because this trip number, well, it details exactly what you want the carrier to do for you. This trip number does become your PO to the carrier. I hope that helped, or if it's a more specific question than that, please let me know.
Oh. And it says, how do branches work with invoices and other documents? Will invoices look different from different branches?
Oh, absolutely. As I showed you earlier, let's have a look. I think this is an invoice. There we go. So every branch has the ability to have a specific name and address and phone numbers. They also can have specific logos. So whatever branch this order is related to, that's the order, that's the logo and the address information that it will relate through to. Or those load confirmations as well. Where's my load confirmation? There it is. They will also display the specific branch and the information coming off the branch record that the dispatch is associated to. Hope that helped. Anything else, Brad?
I think so. Okay, it looks like, just looking at the questions here, it looks like they've tailed off now, and we're coming close to our time anyway. So if you do have additional questions, please do send them through to info@tailwindtms.com. Give us a call. Let me put that screen back on up for you so you can see that information actually, which will probably make it easier. There we go. Should see. So there's this contact information that you'll be able to reach us at. And with that, I would like to thank Linda for being our wonderful presenter today, as well as all of you who took the time to join us. And also, if you could take a minute at the end of this webinar to provide a bit of feedback, there is a super quick, just 5-question survey that will be coming up as soon as you log out. And as Linda mentioned, we build our business based on the feedback that we get from customers. It helps us build a better application, and it helps us build a better business as well. We know that our success depends on the success of you, our customers. So we thank you for using Tailwind in your business. And we also ask if you know anyone in your professional life or in your group of friends that you feel that we can help with our application, please send us an email. You could send it just to info@tailwindtms.com, as you see on your screen. We'll even send you a coffee card as a thank you for that as well. With that, we wish you a great rest of your day. Thanks again, everyone. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.